And the final movie we watched this week was the in theaters, maybe not anymore, 2025 film Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze arc, Reze arc, however you pronounce it. I think they said Reze. This is Nico's job to do a plot synopsis.
Yeah, so this film, Reze, whatever the fuck they call her, this is covering the arc of the manga in which it's all about the bomb devil, folks. So, our boy Denji, he goes on a date with Makima. It's pretty sweet. And he's like, damn, I fucking love Makima. She's the best. But then he ends up meeting this sweet other girl named Reze. That's what I'm going to call her because it's what I've always called her. And she's just fantastic, dude. She's just every teenage boy's dream. She's way into him, and he is fucking heart aflutter about this. But then they end up going to a cute little festival, and it turns out, oh, she's the bomb devil. She's here to fucking kill this man and get his heart. And hilarity ensues from there.
Fun fact, this is MAPPA's first rated R film.
What are you thinking, Jackson? Is that a good fun fact?
It's pretty basic, but yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of
fantastic. Unfortunately, like, there haven't been any, like, director interviews or anything yet for them to pull, like, fun facts from, so...
And that's a bummer, dude. That's a bummer.
Tanner, where are you ranking this film? You're the one I want to know about the most here.
I am at a flat B.
Jesus Christ. I am at a flat A.
I'm at a flat S.
Wow!
Holy shit.
It's literally just like ascending as we go.
Check
Love
that out. Now, I guess I was very surprised when we were like halfway through this film and we were like already getting to the fight scene because like the end of the arc is basically there. So I was wondering what the fuck they were gonna do to fill the rest of the time. Turns out most of this film is fucking dope ass action and I loved it. I was a huge fan. Phenomenal animation. Holy shit, the fight choreography was off the charts in this film. There were like so many creative shots and stunning moments. It was just a true feast for the eyes.
I agree. The sound design too, coupled with it, was absolutely fantastic as well. All the fucking like noise it makes when she's like snapping and doing a bomb explosion or something. So good. The music coupled with everything added to the intensity of it a lot and the emotional impact of a lot of scenes. From an artistic standpoint, this movie is off the fucking rails, and it's just incredible in that standpoint.
Absolutely, like that part where like Denji's just completely shredding the Typhoon Devil. That was super satisfying. Ree's just lighting up the sky with fireworks was gorgeous. It was really captivating all around.
Tanner, why'd you hate this movie?
Yeah, I guess I'm in my hater arc here. I think the main thing that has me only at a B is I think it's very good, but like as you point out, like half the movie is action, and I wasn't that impressed by it. I think this might just be a consequence of like we've been spoiled with a lot of really good looking anime action scenes within the last couple of years, but like I didn't feel it did anything that like blew me away or like, you know, went above and beyond stuff I've seen in like, you know, like what Bakugo does in My Hero Academia, or, you know, a fucking One Punch Man fight scene, or like it just didn't really impress me all that much. It felt like stuff I've seen before, or like the Sukuna versus I think Jogo fight at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen. It just like I'm like, this is a good fight scene, but it's not like, you know, sending me out into the stratosphere or anything. And so because of that, like, it's a good movie, but it didn't blow me away. And like, frankly, I don't think it did anything to really justify it being a movie to me. Like, if this just came out and was the show, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It might just because like it's like there's not a lot going on here, as you point out. Like the first half, it's like Denji meeting a girl and then dating her, and then they fight, and that's kind of all that happens in the movie.
Unfortunately, because it is basically a season 2 of it, a lot of what it is because of things that happened earlier on. We've got a ton of setup that's just not there from the anime. We've all seen the anime, so this is unsurprising. But we start at a standpoint with Denji's character, and we go into Reze introducing herself into his life with that knowledge. So there's a lot of like setup that gets kind of cleaned up. The intro sequence, like the first half of the movie, I think does a good job of just explaining to the audience maybe that hasn't watched the anime, because I think it's just a pretty self-contained story, and I think that's realistically why it was adapted as a movie, because if they had this as like part of this anime, it'd be like a weird like fucking 6-episode thing and then going back to it, which I don't think would work. I think this works much better as a movie, so I'm not really in agreement with you there at all. But I immediately got lost with what I was trying to say. God fucking damn it. But TLDR is there's just a lot of setup that goes into it, but I think the first half does a good job of setting up and I guess introducing the audience maybe to what Chainsaw Man is as a whole. We get to learn about like the general cast and crew in interesting ways. We get to learn a bit more about Aki and Angel and just like the setup of these fiends collaborating with people. They do a good job of just explaining more about Denji's character. We get a bit more of the dynamic between Makima and Denji. There's a lot of just character building that happens here that's very important too. Like, just Makima's whole outlook on humanity, I guess, and, you know, from the perspective of the arts, really just does a lot for her character and Denji's interactions with her, and, you know, having that internal battle of, you know, her versus Reze and why he wants these relationships in the first place. It just does a lot of setup for things to come, which obviously is not something that's, like, entirely founded within the movie, but, you know, as a Chainsaw Man fanatic, as I would describe myself as potentially, it works, and I think it is compelling enough to his character for the later halves of the movie, especially for the outcome that we get at the end, where he's still, you know, some people might see, like, why the fuck did he, like, let her go or something, you know? I think that it all does a good job of explaining his rationale behind these things, and even why, in the end, Reze came back to him, unfortunately, even though she was doomed because of Makima. Yeah, I think it's all very important world building, and, you know, I think it's interesting you're not, like, blown away by the action, because I've seen a lot of really good fucking action. This was some really good fucking action. There was some really interesting sequences and some very artistic ways of doing things, especially with, like, the color palette. Chainsaw Man's very well known for its interesting color palette and just artistic representation, especially on like their the covers and stuff or some of the art spreads. And they represented that in the movie, which I think is cool. So, like, specifically in like the Typhoon Devil thing. There's some cool things with like the warping and the like very, I don't know, splotchy kind of style when they're inside the tornado to like represent them like literally being fucking tossed around in a tornado. They had like all like the cool time stopping thing and just the interesting, I don't know, I lack words to describe the techniques they're using, but they're just doing a ton of really cool shit, specifically like in like, again, the time stop thing when they're fighting in the building. Tons of really interesting animation techniques on display here. And even if you didn't like it from like a technical standpoint, there's still so much to love about just the fight scene section in general. Just like the absurdity of it. He's riding his fucking shark guy around with like an interesting combo, which I think is just fun. We get bits of Aki and Angel. We learn more about them, maybe Aki's perspective on life in general. And again, he's a very important character later on, so it's just more character building. There's just some interesting stuff too, like when fucking, like, Denji's just getting his shit rocked for most of it, which is not what you'd expect, I would say. Most people, I would imagine, would not expect that to happen. And it's just fun watching him fucking come back and the ways he has to work around that. It's just fucking peak, man. It's just fucking peak. And I can keep yapping, man. I've got notes on this shit. I haven't touched a single one of them yet.
I'll tell you what, this shit pissed me off with how good it looked, because it just made me think about just the current state of anime video games and how Chainsaw Man fucking deserves a dope-ass game, some sort of Sweet Fighter or like Devil May Cry-esque game, but they're just never gonna fucking get that. As we discussed in this episode, they're just gonna get some shitty-ass arena fighter that look terrible. I fucking hate anime games, god damn it. One thing about this film that I do, it's a little bit of a complaint. I'll knock it a tad bit for, but like, listen, this is just an issue with like anime in general, so it's not like that big of a deal. But like, you know, there's a lot of these big fighting sequences in this, and Reze's whole deal is she uses explosions, and because of that, it's very ambiguous just how deadly any of her attacks will be against somebody, particularly against like Denji and Beam. Like there's sometimes where they're just getting fucking their shit rocked. Like Beam just absolutely tanking these explosions as she's just fucking mooting him in the stomach, and like all these explosions are going off, and he's down for the count, but he's fine for the most part.
I mean, you have to understand there's like some power scaling here where Beam is the shark devil, and sharks are, they're pretty globally feared by a good amount of people, I would say. So I think you might just be underestimating how strong Beam is, potentially. But I do agree, it is some anime bullshit where it is kind of hard just to even conceptualize how hard something hits or whatever.
Yeah. Let me save your life real quick. Commenters, back off. Jackson knows he's the shark fiend, not the shark devil.
Yeah.
I got a lore question. So, like, Denji being a not fiend, like, human devil hybrid thing is, treated in the show as, like, this massively unique thing that has never happened, but we've now seen two of them pretty early on in sort of what I assume is the manga's total thing. What's up with that?
I mean, the big thing here is it's not like a survivorship bias thing, but basically Denji is an abnormality. Hybrids are not common. They are still a big rarity, but the fact is that everybody wants fucking Pochita's heart. We still don't know why, of course. And because of that, a lot of people are sending, their strongest soldier type of things. And that's why we're seeing a lot of hybrids, because they're very strong, generally speaking. So because of him, we're seeing a lot more of them, I guess. That's how you could look at it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Lore question for you guys. Who do you think would win in a fight, Bakugo or Reze?
I've been reliably informed that Bakugo sweeps.
I've been reliably informed of the exact opposite.
Sounds like I'm the tiebreaker then. So let's see here. Does Bakugo die at the end of My Hero Academia? I don't remember if he does or not. I guess...
Consider, Reze also can't really die if she has means of regenerating, which Bakugo cannot.
Yeah, but like... So Reze can, like, die, but she'll come back is the thing. And, like, I don't think that's totally fair to count in a fight, because, like, it presumably takes her, like, quite a while to return, correct?
I mean, if it's something like Denji, I mean, they're both hybrids, you could assume potentially they have similar regeneration abilities. He can, with a single fucking human, basically regenerate himself from basically nothing.
I'll give it to Reze, why not?
Whoa.
Oh, there we go. Ding, ding, ding. Reze wins. Another W.
Especially because, like, Reze, she can, like, just keep doing her shit. Bakugo does need, like, fuel in order to, like, make his explosions. If it's, like, a decently, like, prolonged fight, he will eventually, like, start running out.
Mm-hmm. That's true, although he is much faster, and I think his explosions are much more deadly than her.
Yeah, I think that's up for the power scalers here. I think we'd be pretty split on that. We saw some crazy shit that Reze was doing in the movie. And also, just like with her speed and with the scale of her explosions. So yeah, it's really hard to say.
Dude, we've seen Bakugo basically teleport.
I mean, we've seen her basically do the exact same shit. We all saw the time stop sequence in the building.
Yeah, there's the time stop sequence, man. You can't forget about that.
Oh,
yeah, she is obscenely
that's true.
fast. Regardless, we're getting off track here. Nika, do you have any other closing thoughts, really, before I fucking talk about other random shit?
Big fan that Kobeni made an appearance in this film. I was fucking pogging at the screen when that happened. I like that we got to see her little scantily clad tutor in that one sequence. Wish they lingered a bit more on that, but that's fine.
I just like her inclusion in general, specifically with the violence devil or the violence fiend as well, because it's just like we're at high stakes action, but they still take us back to it being a Chainsaw Man movie with like just some stupid funny absurdity shit, which is just, great. Like the 2v1 thing and they just fucking leave. Yeah. Love that shit. Big fan.
That was very fun.
The guy in the plague mask is the violence fiend?
Yeah.
How come he doesn't seem very strong? I feel like fear of violence should be...
Well, the big thing is that he's limited with the gas mask. I think they're like constantly gassing him in some way. I think they explained it in season 1 a bit, but like if he takes off the gas mask, it's basically like his limiter. But they don't want to do that because he would, fucking cause mayhem, and they don't want that to happen.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. I was just about to say something, but god damn, you guys interrupted me. This is why you're never supposed to interrupt me. Interrupt Dylan instead!
Fuck! Anyway, it's time to talk about my tons of little tiny things the movie does that I am a big fan of. I think the biggest thing here is one of the things I liked a lot about the manga section of this arc was just the horror aspect of it. And I think they do that really, really well in this too, specifically with Reze initially going on the, the attack against Denji and then trying to get him back from like the Devil Hunters training facility was so fucking good. That whole sequence was absolutely amazing. It felt like you were watching a horror movie just from she was just doing some fucked up shit to these guys, the fucking holding their heads out in the darkness with the high beams. I really like that panel. It's super fucking good.
That part was excellent. The part where she's like getting stalked through the school was also super well done as well.
Yeah, no. The whole stalking sequence too is really nice because a lot of people probably would come out questioning, like, why didn't she just killed Denji right off the bat? It doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of it is just because she is genuinely in love with Denji. I don't think she really fully understands it at the start, but she is basically just a parallel to Denji. They've got very similar lives. They're both hybrids. They are both being manipulated by people. They are totally just puppets to something much bigger than they are. And they're both just young kids that didn't really get a childhood at all, and they find connection in that. And I think it's really beautiful and really well done, and speaks a lot to both their characters. Because, like, she literally is just fucking Denji in a different scenario, and they're kind of perfect for each other in that. And that's why it's so tragic what happens, is because she realizes the desperate nature of her situation the second she learns about Makima, and fucking seals herself because of that. But other stuff, the pool sequence, absolutely fantastic, probably one of my favorite sequences in the entire movie. The music in this, again, I already spoke about it, but it's fucking gorgeous. I really like Iris Out, the song they play in the ending sequence. That's Jane Doe. I like Jane Doe a lot. I'm not crazy about Iris Out, that's the intro one. In the Pool is really the song they play when they're in the pool, and I think that song's beautiful. Got on my playlist. Big fan. The whole sequence is fantastic, super well done. And it does add another thing. In the manga, I don't think she teaches him how to swim, so it really does just, again, paint more that she is genuinely interested in him, and she's having a fun time. She doesn't want to do it, but, she's got to. And I think she was genuine about wanting to run off somewhere, because I do believe she had that contact, but she realizes that because of Makima, there's just no point. They're both going to fucking die anyways, presumably.
Yeah, I do love how, like, there are a lot of ways in which you can really think about her character, because there are, like, all these, like, little things where it's like, ooh, is she, like, genuinely, like, into him? Is she, like, trying to, like, help him out? Is she just, like, trying to, maybe, like, instead of, like, running away with him, is she just, like, wanting to, like, lure him away from, like, all the other, like, devil hunters or, like, Makima's control and stuff like that, so then they can more easily kill him? It's, like, it's tough. It's a real toss-up here.
Yeah, and I like that, too, because, lets you just think about it more, and I think that the sign of a good piece of media is just getting you thinking about it, which this arc does a lot for me. Another thing, during the pool sequence that I've spoken so highly of, they're not constantly, but pretty frequently they're going back and forth between the picture of the spider and the butterfly that's caught in its web. And there's a lot of different ways you can interpret that sequence. The obvious sign that a lot of people would go and look at is, like, obviously the spider is Reze and Denji's the butterfly, and they're like, this is just some really fucking lowbrow, not so subtle, haha, yeah, look at he's caught in her web, haha, look how smart the movie is. But no, there's a ton of different ways you could look at it. You could just look at it really fucking bare bones, like it is in fact just, Denji caught in Reze's web. There's a fun interpretation there because the butterfly is poisonous to the spider, so they kill each other because of this situation. You could also look at it as Makima catching them, so they're the butterfly and Makima's the spider. And also leading credence to that is, I don't have evidence of this right now, but you can go look it up. There is a massive amount of circles and just like circular shots in this movie, as people have pointed out, that basically just show in short terms, it just highlights that Makima is in fact just watching them the entirety of what they're doing. It's like they just frame things constantly, with her eyes, the fucking hypnotic, like, multi-ringed thing. They're constantly doing that, and, leads to the ending sequence when Makima catches Reze right before he gets to her. They were fucked from the start, there was... basically the entirety of it was pointless, unfortunately. I do like the shot, too, where she, like, gets caught out by the murderer before she, goes and fucking rocks his shit when she's just standing in the rain, eye twitching. I love that shot. It's really good. There's a lot of different interpretations of that too. Like, you could see it as her just genuinely being mad about, her date basically with Denji being ruined by this fucking dickhead. You could see it as that's just her true self, and that's finally like her facade dropping for the first time. Regardless, really well done. The animation of her taking that guy out and then just playing that was super cold too. Big fan. There's fun fact that there was a fan animation of that whole sequence of her being chased and then choking the guy out that was making the rounds well before I think even the first season came out. And I think the movie won up that animator, unsurprisingly. I think it would have been fun if they got that animator to help with that sequence, but maybe they did do that. I don't know. I didn't fucking look it up. Who cares?
Man, that would have been a fun fact, Tanner, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you should have fabricated something because it would have been cool. And I've got one minor thing. I've got tons to talk about this movie. I'll attempt to keep it short. One other thing is some people might be like, why was Aki so fucked up about Angel being swept away? They didn't seem like they were very close or anything. But you could look at it as him almost having like PTSD about his situation with his family, where the gun devil just blew away their entire house and fucking killed his entire family. He doesn't want to see somebody else get blown away and die again, so you want to help him because of that. That's one interpretation. Maybe a little bit loose, but it's something you can look at. There's just a lot of like little minor details, and that's what really makes me love this movie. And I'm sure if I wasn't like such a big fan of Chainsaw Man, just for context, I've read the manga like 4 fucking times, and I'm still currently caught up. And I was a big fan of the anime adaptation as well. This almost makes me feel like some, no offense, but it makes me feel like fucking Dylan watching a Godzilla movie. And it's like, is this movie actually this good, or am I just so deep into it that like I'm being blinded by it? But I'm going to go into the assumption that I'm not being blinded by it, because there is just genuinely so much care and thought put into everything with this movie, from the animation, just down to little tiny details in the writing and character expressions. It's just fantastic. I have very little flaw with it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. You might be saying, why not S+? Because I don't think it's S+. Get fucked, get bent. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I wanted to watch it again, but I just couldn't find the time. And unfortunately, It's already out of fucking theaters, god fucking damn it. I might actually buy this one in Blu-ray. I don't really buy physical media, but I might buy this one in Blu-ray.
There you go.
It is very funny that immediately after I said in our D&D review, I just want Jackson to once be the guy who's like super hyped on something, and then we immediately got that one.
Hell yeah.
We just need to watch more anime, Tanner.
It has been a while since we've seen an anime movie.
I don't know if that's true, buddy.
I also don't know if that's true. It feels like it's been a while.
I'm gonna pick The Girl Who Leapt Through Time next.
Hell yeah, that's been on your list for a while.
It has.
Anywho, do you guys have any other final thoughts here?
No.
I like that during that pool scene, that like, despite Reze being like completely nude and shit there, it still doesn't feel like particularly like tantalizing or anything like that. It's more of like a just very beautiful scene and slightly haunting.
Why would a 17-year-old girl be tantalizing, Nico?
Because she's actually like 53. Buster? Jackson, if you did like genuinely meet a woman who was like 1,000 years old, but she just looked like she was about your age, would you be down with dating her?
I mean, I wouldn't fucking believe her, so I guess so.
She takes you to the Smithsonian, and you see that she's like Forrest Gump. She's been in like every big and notable historical event that's ever occurred. She's just like in photos and stuff with presidents.
I haven't seen Forrest Gump, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe that's a spoiler. I mean, I just assume the genes are crazy on her mom's side or something.
Okay.
So it's just like her family tradition is to be in every historical event ever.
It's a hell of a tradition.
I guess Yeah, with that, I guess one minor other thing too with the pool scene. Once again, love that scene. Like Nico said, they do it in a really tasteful way, and they don't sexualize it at all. It's really beautiful, honestly. And one of the criticisms I saw people giving this movie a lot was that it's just fucking generic gooner slop. Which, like, what the fuck are these people talking about? The one,
Dude,
like,
it has
the pool's,
a woman in it.
Yeah, it has a naked woman in it. Ah! Fun fact: every single time a woman's naked, it's gooner slop. You can't have nudity without it being gooner slop. Fun fact: it's just fucking stupid. Like, the only like real thing you could point at being just like actual fan service is just the scene where he's imagining the girls in like lingerie or something. That's really it. But like, I mean, it makes sense. He's thinking about him. It's the boy. It's a young boy's
is
mind.
A gooner.
Yeah, Denji literally is a gooner. I do like that fucking angel in that as well. Big fan. That's funny as hell. Like, balance it out. Mm-hmm. Oh. Anyways, I'm done yapping. I'm still at my S, unsurprisingly.
Fantastic, dude. So, I currently have this film at the same rank as Mugen Train, and I'm really trying to figure out if I do see them, like, kind of on par with one another. Because, like, they both have phenomenal animation, solid stories in each of them. Mugen Train made me cry, though, you know? And so, like, I just don't think it's worth putting the Reze movie above Mugen Train because of that. Because I didn't quite get that same emotional... What word am I looking for here? I didn't get the feels quite as much from this film, I'll just say. So I'll leave it an A.
And I'm leaving it at B.
Whoa, and unsurprisingly, it lands at a flat A.
Nice. Fantastic. Very good film all around.